Okay, here we are at day 8. Today we're working on the pedestal. So we're going to inspect the sides and faces for damage and wear, and inspect the trim pieces for damage and wear. We're going to inspect the mounting hardware and mounting surfaces are in good condition, inspect the face plates and mounting hardware, inspect the fuel selector handle, the fuel shutoff switch, trim wheel for damage, wear, and misalignment. Also, that the trim wheel is at recommended resistance and within specified tolerances for wobble. Ensure the pedestal wiring is not interfering with the trim wheel operation. We're also going to maybe inspect the pedestal junction panel for damage, wear, and positioning. Check the alternate static air source button and ensure the underdash wiring is free of moving parts. And the throttle and mixture actuators. We'll inspect the lower center dash panel junction for damage, wear, and proper alignment. We will inspect the throttle and mixture handle assemblies, rods, flanges, retainers, and trim rings. Inspect the throttle friction lock functions properly. Ensure throttle and mixture handle smooth operation. Inspect the cables, connectors. Let's get into it. Let's check out the pedestal here. We're going to look for damage and wear, like this kind of damage right here. This kind of frayed edges there, not too bad. This right here was caused when this fell off and hit here. So that's a little bit of damage there. Not too bad. Of course, if you let it go, then it just accumulates, and then you have, so we've got frayed edges along here, bottom here. Doesn't look too bad. Some more frayed edges. I'll probably just take a black marker and put it over that. Okay, so we'll look at the sides real quick, just make sure that everything looks good there. Mounting hardware. Mounting hardware there. Okay, and we're going to make sure that this is okay. It seems to be, it's not wobbling or anything more than what the play inside of the switch is. And the panel looks like it's in decent shape. We've got our fuel shut off here. So this is supposed to be a plunger, and I can always switch it over because I made this faceplate for it, so I can just make a round plunger or put one in there if I find one. Looks to me like this needs to be reattached. It looks like it's broke off right there, so I'm going to have to check that out. Let's look at the Velcro right there. Looks okay. And the trim wheel module here. Seen better days. It's kind of tight. There's some adjusters down in there that I can work on. It does wobble a little bit. Not too bad if you don't really yank on it. And here's the junction panel and the alternate static air source switch. Once again, that should be a plunger, but I just put a switch there because I had a big package of them. So we're going to make sure the friction lock works. So turn the friction lock. So how the friction lock works here is it doesn't actually use a ferrule. What it does is it uses an offset bushing here. So it's nice and smooth the more I open it up, and then the more I close it, it's supposed to get tighter. But as you can see, it's turning right there instead. Oh, there we go. If I do it right, there we go. It's tight all the way down. It just depends on how this is put on there. So in order to take this off, got to take these out of here and then pull these backwards, and then this whole panel just slides back. This is the only thing that holds them on. So there's the mixture. This doesn't rotate. You can try to rotate it, but it doesn't actually rotate. And that works really smoothly. Look under here. We'll look to see how the actuators work. So I used a $5 drain snake from the hardware store, cut pieces off of it and used that for the cables. And then I attached those to some extensions on the potentiometer actuator arms made out of plumber's strap. Seems to work really good. I don't see any wires or anything in the way. So that looks like it's good. So I want to make sure that this is nice and secure on here. So it doesn't really seem to move very much. One thing is that being made out of cardboard, it is less durable than wood, obviously. And so these attach to a piece of wood that goes back through here that also anchors the actuator, the seat actuator down. And sometimes I kick this, and you can see the damage right here caused from that. So this whole thing moves sideways that way, and it just ripped the cardboard. So I used some big washers to hold it on there, and that seems to work okay. But it's something to keep in mind for designing in the future, that it needs to be a little bit more durable, so I might have to make the sides and face out of wood. So we're going to go ahead and check to make sure all of the mounting hardware is secure on there. Let's start with the pedestal mounts here. Alright. Okay, so this needs to be loosened up here. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm going to need a wrench or something. Alright. There we go. When this is tightened, doesn't take that with it. There we go. See, that's nice and tight. That's not going anywhere. It's a little bit looser. That's nice and loose. It's got a little chatter right there from catching this little offset bushing here. Right, and let's make sure this one's straight. I should use a wrench because this is just kind of boogering up the face of those brass fittings. These are pneumatic fittings. There we go. That's nice and tight. And it looks like it's lined up good. Okay, everything's good there.